Welcome back to session 4 of the 2025 APU Provincial Powerlifting Championships. My name is Adam Maneri, and I'm joined in this session by...
Hi, I'm AJ Vendiola.
Amazing, and we are about to get started with some very, very strong lifters today. Before we officially start on the platform, we just have a quick introductory video from one of our referees.
I'll be chief referee on platform 2. Welcome to day 2 of APU Provincials 2025.
All right, we're just 10 seconds away from starting our 4th session of the competition. And the bars are officially loaded and we are ready to roll.
All right, so on platform 1, we've got Vivian Tao. She's competed 3 times, and this is going to be her first probs. Making that look easy. And that's going to be 3 white lights on platform 1. All right, looks like we just got the spotters and loaders loading up the next weight on platform 1 for Zainab. I'm not sure what's going on platform 2. It looks like Steven is going to be timing out. All right, Zainab now on platform 1, bars loaded. That looked pretty smooth for an opener. Judges agree, 3 white lights. All right, we've got a lifter on platform 2, Thomas with 210 kilos. Very smooth opener. So Thomas is a Hall Strength Systems athlete. Looks like he's competed twice in probs. This will be his 3rd one. Kayla on platform 1 with 105 kilos. Pretty easy opener again. A little slow on the lights today, but oh. So not sure what happened there. Might have been depth. Might have also just jumped the command. Good lift on 2, 2-1 for Sam. Right, our next lifters are platform 1. It's going to be Pat of Core Powerlifting. with 122.5 kilos. So Pat's best squat is 130. Opening at 122, she probably has a good shot of beating that today. Fairly smooth opener. 3 white lights. Jordan on platform 2. Got 215 kilos loaded up on the bar. Just 12.5 kilos shy of his best squat. Jordan, good on 2. Looks like that PR might not be safe today. AJ on 1, walking out 125. Bit of a slower opener, but it was smooth. 2-1. And we got Cassidy on platform 1. So Cassidy actually used to compete at 47. Doing some quick research, she actually holds all of the 47 kilo records, and I guess she's just doing a quick little side quest on 52. That looked pretty good. 3 white lights for Cassidy. Next up on platform 1, we have Madison. So it's actually looking like a pretty tight battle between Cassidy and Madison. I have them pretty close on their nominated totals. Platform 2, we have Brett with 240 kilos. Good lift on 1 for Madison. And a good lift on 2 for Brett. Right, now it looks like we're going back up to the top of the order on 1. On platform 2, we have Zach coming up with 247.5 kilos. So this, if Vivian gets it, it will match her current best squat PR. Looked pretty strong on platform 2 for Zach. And 3 white lights. Pretty smooth on 1 for Vivian as well. So we have Nicholas on platform 2, opening with 250 kilos. This is already going to be 5 kilos above his current best. Making that look pretty easy on platform 2. 3 white lights for Nicholas. Zainab on platform 1 with 102.5. This will also match her current best squat PR. Bit of a sticking point, but looks like she got it, and it'll be 3 white lights. Back to Curtis Duncan on 2 with 220 kilos. Oh! Ah, good fight. Just wasn't there today. Platform 1, we have Kayla with 105 kilos. And this is just 2.5 below her best meet PR. Pretty strong looking squat. 3 white lights. Sam coming up on platform 1 with 220 kilos. This will match his best squat if he gets it. And that looked pretty easy. I think he's getting a squat PR today. 2-1, good lift. All right, AJ on 1 with 127.5 kilos. This was AJ's first pros. Oh. Looked like a bit of a fight, but still pretty smooth. 2-1. Good lift on 1. Jordan with 225 on 2. Oh, looked like a slight misgroove, but still moved that pretty easy. 3 white lights on 2. We've got Patricia here again on platform 1 with 130. This will match Patricia's best meat squat. And Andrew on 2 with 230 kilos. Slight fight there, but looks like he's got it. 2-1. And just wasn't there on 1 for Patricia. Madison coming up on platform 1 with 137.5 kilos. That's a 300-pound squat for a 52-kilo lifter. And Thomas on platform 2 with 230 kilos. 507 pounds on the bar. Bit of a fight there on platform 1, but looks like Madison gets it with 3 white lights. And Cassidy now again with the same weight. Looks like Thomas got his lift on platform 2. So once again, the battle for first place in 52 is going to be between Cassidy and Madison. And with these squats so far, they're going to be neck and neck. Brett on platform 2 with 252.5 kilos. Cassidy gets her lift on 1. Strong squat on 2 for Brett. 3 white lights. You've got Vivian here on platform 1 with 77.5 kilos. That's 5 kilos over her best meet squat. Bit of a fight, but looked good. 3 white lights, and she's going to be walking away with a nice new squat PR. On 2, we have Nicholas with 265. Looks pretty smooth. 3 white lights on 2 for Nicholas. Zainab on 1 with 107.5 kilos, and this is going to be 5 kilos over her best squat as well. Oh, it just wasn't there for Zainab. Zach with 265. What a fight. Looks like he's got it. What did judges say? Oh, looks like it was depth on the sides. He'll have another shot of that for his 3rd attempt. Next up, we've got Kayla on 1 with 115 and Curtis on 2 with 220. Oh. Was that depth? 2 to 1, looks like it was. Good lift on 1. Curtis with a strong squat on 2. Judges agree, and it's 3 white lights. AJ on 1 with 130 kilos. AJ is currently sitting in 1st place. the 57 kilo class. And we've got Sam on too with 230 kilos. Strong squat on 1 by AJ and strong squat on 2 by Sam. 2 to 1, good lift for AJ, 3 white lights for Sam on 2. AJ will be finishing squats for going 3 for 3. Patricia on 1 with the reattempt of 130 kilos. Jordan on 2 with 232.5. And looked good. 3 white lights, good lift for Jordan. Patricia's locked in. Looking strong, but hits that sticking point again. Good fight. Andrew coming out on platform 2 with 240 kilos. We've got a provincial record attempt on platform 1. I just wasn't there for Andrew on 2. Oh my. What a strong squat. So Cassidy already had the 47 kilo record in squat. Now she's getting herself the 52 kilo record as well. But we've got Madison saying she can do it as well. Chipping that by 0.5. Spotters and loaders showing that 0.5 kilo plate to the referees. Thomas on 2 with 242.5 kilos. So the typical increment that you're allowed to go up for any lift in powerlifting is 2.5 kilos, except in the case that you have a record attempt, which is the case right now for Madison. So Cassidy just got it with 145, and Madison is just chipping that with 0.5. And that was a good lift on 2. Drops in, and it just wasn't there for Madison. Madison's going to have a bit of total to catch up on if she wants to catch Cassidy after that squat. And Brett on 2 with a grind. Wow. $260 kilos, fights it and gets it with 3 white lights.
I had to hop back on the stream here for a second to comment on that lift. That was remarkable. A Hall Strength Systems athlete absolutely grinding out that 3rd attempt. I love to see it.
Yeah, and Brett's previous best squat in meet was 212.5, so that smashes it. Zach on 2 with 265 for his last lift. Last squat, I should say. Oh, hits a sticking point, just wasn't there. Good job to the spotters and loaders. And 110 being loaded up on platform 1 for Erica. Those collars are a pain sometimes. Nicholas on 2 with 270 kilos. 595 pounds. And a fight by Nicholas on 2, but he gets the lift with 3 white lights. Easy squat opener for Erica on 1. And looks like we're breaking into flight B for both platforms.
So AJ, what have you noticed so far after our first flight of squats? Anything stand out to you so far?
Well, definitely a strong battle for the 52s between Cassidy and Madison. Both of them going for those PRs, or records, I should say.
Yeah, we've got some strong young lifters this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of first-time props lifters too, hitting some big PRs on the men's side as well. Chelsea on 1 with 115. And a pretty easy opener on 1. 3 white lights, it's a good lift. Bars loaded for Mo on platform 2.
And Mo is meet director down in Calgary. He and his team have hosted a couple of the Gravity Games. Very well run meets down in Calgary, but Mo has his lifting cap on today.
Yeah, Grand Lift and Gravity Games, I think, right? Yeah. And Kaylee on 1 with 117 and a half. Both Calgary barbell athletes. And a pretty smooth opener for Mo. Gets the 3 white lights.
Yeah, he's
See
been
how Kaylee
stacking
goes.
kilos on his lifts as of late.
And looked pretty good for Kaylee as well on 1. Another 3 white lights.
Yeah, a couple Calgary barbell athletes. Didn't see many of those this morning. Didn't see many UAPA lifters this morning either.
I was going to say, next up we've got Sam from UAPA and Josh, a former UAPA member. A club that's close to my heart, where I spent a good 9 years of my university lifting career. Oh! Looks like Josh got a little folded there, but he still managed to fight through it. He does have deadlift leverages, so he's got more of that long femur squat. Sam made it look easy on 1. 3 white lights.
Good lift from that UAPA lifter. AJ, you were talking about training with the UAPA. What years were you training with the club?
Since Power Surge 7, I want to say. That was like way back in 2016.
2016, yeah. I mean, not too far after my first Power Surge 2013, so pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, Power Surge is a great first meet, honestly. The atmosphere is just unbeatable.
Lifting in the Butterdome is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Trenton on 1 with, or on 2, I should say, with 255, and Katrina on 1 with 122.5. Looks good for Katrina and good for Trenton. So Trenton's got a pretty big pull and a pretty big bench. I've got him based on nominations as first right now. It'll be a battle between him and Ronan.
Yeah, a lot of tight battles today. Earlier today we saw an extremely tight battle in the 76 kilo division for our women, also in the 83 kilo open division for our men. Very tight finishes in those divisions.
What about Justin Cadado? Hey, misses weight for 74, wins the 83 kilo class.
Yeah, I had a few comments about the attempt selection there. He could have gone up by just 5 kilos, chose to go up 17 and a half. Hey, it worked out in the end.
Wanted the Hail Mary for the win, and it paid off. Jennifer with 122 and a half on 1. And Mr. Wendigo himself on 2 with 257 and a half kilos. Strong lift on 2 by Braden. And a good lift. We got 3 white lights on 1.
And I'm not sure how much you were able to catch on the mic there, but it did look like, or sound rather, that Wendigo Barbell had quite a response from the crowd here.
Yeah, Wendigo Barbell's got a pretty big presence here in Edmonton. So forecasted on the bottom right just means that's what their total's looking like based on whatever attempts they have loaded for their bench and deadlift coming up. So it's not the total yet because they haven't hit those lifts, but assuming they make everything that they've got on their attempt cards, that would be their placing. And APU is a tested federation. It's affiliated with the CPU and the IPF. Strong lift on 2 by Ronan, and a strong lift on 1 by Janelle. So again, that battle for the 105 is going to be between Trenton and Ronan, both of them making their openers look pretty easy. Braden not too far behind either. There's a bit of a battle for podium between him and Steven. Robert will be coming out in the 120 class with a 260 opener. His best squat is 300. Oh. I wonder if that was just a misscrew.
Yeah, you said his best squat was 300 in competition. That you would expect that opener to fly.
I would think that was pretty conservative, but maybe he had some issues in the warm-up room, wasn't feeling great. Well, he'll have a chance to recover.
We'll have to look that up. Was that
That was Robert.
Oh,
yeah.
that was Robert.
So he's in the 120s.
120 class.
Good lift on.
Oh yeah,
1.
we have Delano in the 120 class as well coming up. That's a
that's a big lifter right there. So Steven, pretty strong opener, a little bit of a pop on the lockout there. 3 white lights. And it's going to be between him and Braden for, I'm seeing, for podium.
Yeah, bringing it back to Robert, who missed that opener at 260, I have to wonder if he is dealing with an injury. His last 2 meets in 2023 and 2024, he opened at 275 and 285, so he opened at 260 thinking that it was conservative, but it wasn't there. So I'm guessing that there might be an injury involved.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's a pretty big drop off. And yeah, that 300 squat would have been at last prov. So it's been a year. And we've got Darby on platform 1.
And Delano on platform 2, who might just bring home the largest total of the meet. Sorry about that loss.
In. Oh, what an easy 305. You can see the whip on the bar with how fast he's gone. Looks like some issues on depth, though. Some reds on the sides.
Wow.
You'll wonder, though, with how easy that was if he still decides to move up.
Yeah, what's your approach to that if you miss your first attempt, but you know that the strength is there? Do you generally keep the same weight?
I'd say depending on the stakes, I err on the side of being conservative. I would do the reattempt, but if I was in a tight battle or fighting for position, I would want to at least put on, maybe not quite my next attempt, but at least like another 5-10 kilos.
Yeah, no, I agree. Delano doesn't really have much that he's fighting for here,
No.
but he might have a particular total in mind that he's chasing.
Yeah, he might be chasing a squat, and we've got Danny coming up on 1, but back to Delano. So the record right now for squats in the 120s is 317.5. So he might just be chasing that record. He might even go for it on his second.
Well, we have an update. Delano has jumped 15 kilos to his second attempt, 320. I guess that's our answer.
Yeah, he wants that record from Ezeal. And Danny, a very seasoned lifter on platform
And one of our commentators yesterday. Thank you, Danny, for hopping on the mic.
Making 157.5 look pretty easy. Rolling back to Kayla on platform 2 or platform 1 and Mo on platform 2. So I've got Mo pretty close to Josh and Zach fighting for 5th place based on nominations. And that was a pretty good second. Definitely still some room there. 3 white lights on 2 for Mo.
Yeah, that 105 class is shaping up to be pretty interesting for the podium. It looks like there's 4 lifters, honestly, depending on how attempts go, that could finish anywhere from 1 to 4. Trenton has the advantage based on the openers that he's put in, but I mean, it's anyone's game in that 105 class.
That's a very stacked class. Kayla on 1. 117.5 looked pretty good. And 3 white lights. And this is Kayla's first provs. Her best squat is 117.5, so I feel like she's probably going to go for a PR today. Joshua not quite good enough on platform 2. That would have been a PR match for him, but I don't know. It looked like strength might not have been there, but we'll see how his third goes.
Yeah, pretty aggressive attempt selection, but hey.
Yeah, I guess you gave yourself 2 chances at it, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea on 1. Her best squat is 125, and this is 120 for her second. And Rob on 2 will be reattempting 260. Worked pretty tough on his opener, and he just missed it. Pretty strong lift on 1 by Chelsea. And, oh no. Gotta wonder if there might be a bomb rift there. Oh. Bit of a slip up on platform 1, but it looks like our spotter and loader is okay. So 120 on platform 1 for Erica. And just back to Rob, he's a veteran of the sport. He's competed 11 times before this. First meet was in 2017. So you'd think someone seasoned would make some smart choices. So I definitely think there's an injury involved and he's trying to push through it.
Yeah, it's a strange situation. We'll see what happens. There's one more attempt.
And Erica just getting some direction from the refs. Trenton, the front runner for the 105s right now with 262.5. And what a grind.
And that is big for him, 7.5 kilos off his first attempt. And like we've been talking about, there's a few athletes who are right on his heels, so he definitely needed that one.
Definitely needed that one. Speaking of which, we've got Ronan next up with 275, or sorry, 270. 275 is his current best squat.
Ronan's a Hall Strength Systems athlete, coached by Max Hall.
And that looks like a pretty strong second.
Yeah, putting the pressure on at a minimum for a podium position.
Yep. Samantha doing good work with 125, and she gets the lift.
High bar squatter, Sam. Don't see that too often.
Are you a high bar or a low bar squatter?
I'm a low bar squatter.
Yeah, definitely same.
I don't even like high bar as an accessory. I'm pretty much low bar all the time.
And Braden with his second squat of 600 pounds, 272.5 kilos on 2. And this is well over Braden's best competition squat. Kaylee with 125 on 1. Making it look pretty smooth. 3 white lights. And Braden squatting that one. And he's gonna get the 3 white lights. Good lift for Braden.
Again, putting that pressure on. There are a lot of guys in this 105 class that have a shot.
That looks like a pretty tough fight, even for the first 3 positions.
And the fight is continuing on because Steven is another one who is throwing his name in the ring.
Right
here.
on the heels. Katrina with 130. Good squat. And Steven on 2 made that pretty good as well. 3 white lights for both lifters. So that was 10 kilos over Katrina's best squat. And that matches Steven's best competition squat, which was held, he squatted in Provs last year.
Okay, so you've had some time to train. Maybe he's added some kilos to that total.
How long do you like to spend between meets usually?
Well, I mean, recently it's been a couple of years since my last competition.
That's fair
Normally I would do 2 a year was kind of my ideal level between having that practice and not always training for a competition.
Yeah, I think any more than that, and I don't know, it starts to get in the way of training. You don't make as much progress as you want.
Exactly, right? You gotta build, spend some time doing the basics before you go back and test those 1 rep maxes.
And on 2, we were talking about Delano J, and he's back with the squat record attempt.
Again, Delano at his best has the potential to take home best overall lifter here, but he's gonna need to make a squat.
Yep. That last one looked pretty good, though. He just needs to hit that depth.
Looked like it might have been a little bit high, but
Still
we'll
a bit
see.
borderline. And
Same
judges
call.
agree.
Ooh, Delano.
It was still easy. I'd say retake it and try to sink it.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna throw another 15 on the bar,
No.
but 320 is definitely capable of that.
Danelle on platform 1. She's an Onyx Strength Systems or strength and conditioning athlete here in Edmonton. Oh, what a fight. She gets the 135. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights. Janelle's been in the sport for a while too. Looks like her first meet was Grit Power here in Edmonton in 2022. And she's done a couple provs, and she's also done Nats in Richmond, BC in 2023. Aiden hitting 220 for his 3rd squat. And we've got Josh again on platform 2 with 250 kilos. Looked pretty tough on his 2nd. We'll see how he does with it here on his 3rd.
Yeah, he took a 12.5 kilo jump from his opener. Pretty standard.
Yeah, which at this weight, it's not a terrible jump, especially with his body weight as well.
Yeah.
And Delilah here on platform 1 with a pretty big 155 kilo squat. That looked pretty smooth. 2-1. Here's Josh. Oh, it looks like he dive bombed quite a bit and just couldn't get it out of the hole.
Yeah, he called for that one pretty much right when he hit the hole.
I must have been out of position right away and just knew it wasn't going up. Looked like he was pretty off balance.
Yeah, he does seem to fold in his squats. I mean, there are some very, very strong squatters with that little bit of fold, but it does throw you off and out of position sometimes.
Looks like he's still in the meet though. He hit his opener and he's got a pretty big pull. Darby on 1 and Mo on 2. So Darby and Danny are a pretty close battle here. And might have been a bit more of a grind than she'd want for a 2nd, but she gets the lift 2-1. And 2-1 again on 2 for Mo.
Yeah, Mo finished that lift very strong. It looked like it was going to be tough coming out of the hole, but then he absolutely powered through.
And on 2, we've got Robert. He's going to be trying not to bomb out today, but it might be a tough call. The first 2 look pretty tough. Danny on 2 with 167.5. Oh, and it just isn't there for Robert today. Danny making easy work of 167.5. Three white lights on 1 for Danny.
Yeah, so I was talking to Danny yesterday. She was hopped on as part of the commentary, and she was cutting about 7 pounds for this meet. She doesn't track her macros, so doing that
Wow.
sort of cut makes it tricky, but she knows her body, she knows how to eat intuitively, and it looks like she made weight.
That's impressive. Anytime I try to cut without tracking macros, I end up gaining rather than losing.
It's easy to do so. Everyone is a little bit different, and she's obviously had a lot of practice.
Trenton on platform 2 with 265 for his third. This is 5 kilos over his best squat. He'll want this if he wants to keep pressure on the other lifters for first place. And can he push through it? Oh, it just isn't there. That might open the door for Braden and Steven.
Yeah, Braden's jumping 7.5 kilos to his third, and Steven jumping up 5, so that would bring it very, very close.
Kayla with a good lift on 1.
Just a quick shout out to our live stream sponsors, Taylor Nutrition. Unlock your peak performance with a personalized sports nutrition session designed for powerlifters. We'll assess your goals, training, diet, and recovery to create a targeted fueling plan, complete with supplement guidance, custom meal planning, and athlete-friendly recipes.
Ronan on 2 with 277.5. And Chelsea on 1 with 125.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mention Ronan's jump. He's jumping up 7.5 kilos to add to his total, which could be really important for him.
Oh, and that looks like a pretty good third attempt. Maybe he left 2.5 kilos in the tank, which isn't a bad thing because usually I find a grind on squats affects deadlifts. And Chelsea finishing with a strong third attempt.
Another shout out to our live stream sponsors, the Strength Guys. The Strength Guys coach world champions and lifters just like you. For online coaching, nutrition, and injury management trusted by the best, visit thestrengthguys.com. Break PRs with us.
Erica on 1 with 125 and Braden on 2 with 280. Solid third attempt for Erica. That'll be an extra 5 kilos on her best squat. And Braden with the smooth operation on that third squat.
You might have seen he had a little bit of a smirk there as he was getting past his sticking point. He thought he had it.
Sometimes you just know.
Sometimes you just know.
And that'll put him in really good position for that first place spot in the 105.
Yeah, Braden is now only 2.5 kilos forecasted total behind Trenton for first.
Sam with 127.5, and she fights through the sticking point. 3 white lights on 1. Steven on 2, fighting through that 280. Wow. What a grind.
Lord, and that puts him within 7.5 kilos for forecasted total, so he is also in the conversation. Delano added more weight to the bar. He missed 305, went to 320, missed 320, and now he's hitting 325.
We'll see if that pays off for him. Maybe he needed the extra weight to hit depth.
Again, Delano is one of the strongest lifters in the competition. Very well could take home best lifter, but he needs to register a squat.
Kaylee on one with 130. And another fight for her third squat. 3 white lights. I don't know if that was still. Oh, 2-1. Looks like he's going to get it, and that is a new provincial record.
Looks like the side referee might not have wanted to be that person to kick out one of the top lifters from the competition. It was definitely a close call.
At high-level meets, usually there's a jury. If there's any close calls that might have 1 or 2 red lights, that could be overturned. If I were Delano's competitor, I would be running the jury right now and checking that depth call.
Yep.
And Katrina making light work of 137.5. 2 white lights for her. And that'll be 17.5 kilos on her best squat.
So it looks like we've got about 5 lifters left on platform 1 for their squats.
And there's a bit of a best of the rest battle going on here between Jennifer, Janelle, and Katrina.
Yeah, some very close totals in this division.
Jennifer with 140. This will be a 2.5 kilo PR if she gets it. Oh man. Oh no. Looks like she lost some balance there and
hope that she's okay.
She was able to walk away. Had the bar roll over the top of her head a little bit.
I hope that she is all right. She left on her own accord.
Next up, we have Janelle with 140 kilos. This will also be a 2.5 kilo PR attempt for her.
And just an update on platform 2, they're taking a 10-minute break before they start their bench press. So in about 10 minutes, we'll be back to a dual platform stream.
And that looks like a good squat by Janelle. 3 white lights, improving on her best squat just earlier this year at, oh, no, her best squat was from, yeah, earlier this year at Great Power. Delilah attempting 160 for her third squat. This will be a 10
looks
kilo
like he
PR
has third place fairly comfortable for the 69 kilo class, but you never know.
Yeah, it only takes 1 or 2 missed lifts to open the door. And it's a sticking point, then she just can't push through. Good fight by Galila.
And like you said, that could open the door for someone like Katrina to sneak into the podium.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen on the day. So Darby here with 170 for her third squat.
Yeah, that's a nice squat, but when you have Danny CBB on your hot on your tail, you're never safe.
Definitely got to keep the pressure. This is only Darby's first provs, and already she's in a pretty strong position for the podium. Oh.
That might just open the door.
We'll see how Danny responds.
Looks like if Danny makes this lift, she'll pull within 5 kilos for their forecasted total.
And Danny's definitely no stranger to the sport. She's competed 21 times up to this point, starting way back in 2016, so almost a decade of powerlifting.
And she is fired up. We were talking yesterday on the broadcast about whether you get hyped up for any lifts, and she did say on a third squat she likes to let out a little yell sometimes.
Oh, and she makes light work of that 172.5.
Mile. And a little yell, there we go.
Lights, let's go. And that puts her within 5 kilos of Darby.
It will be interesting. Danny obviously has a good squat, good bench press. She does have a good deadlift, but Darby is opening 15 kilos heavier. So it looks like Darby still has most of the power here, but we have to see how bench press goes first, of course.
You can never underestimate the importance of a heavy deadlift whenever you have the last chance to make an attempt. You basically get the last say. You're in the driver's seat, and you can really put the nail in the coffin there.
We are going to have a quick break heading into bench press. We've got 5 minutes left on platform 2, a little bit more than that on platform 1, but we have an instructional video on the bench press courtesy of Clean Strength Media, so you can make sure that you know exactly what you're looking for, and then we'll see you again in about 5 minutes.
There are 3 commands for the bench press: start, press, and rack.
Now, when it's your turn to bench and you hear the signal of bar is loaded, it's time to shine. But we need to make sure we're setting up within the rules. This means that head, shoulder, and butt need to be in contact with the bench. This also means that your feet need to be flat on the floor. If you are unable to meet the required start position, you're not going to get a start command. So make sure you get all these bases covered in training so there's no surprises on meet day.
During the setup, I know we all want to get the highest arch possible. However, you can't have your feet touching the rack in any way. This also includes having your feet on top of the bench or in contact with any of the supports.
When it comes time to unrack the barbell, we have 2 options. You can do it yourself, which we call a self liftoff, or you can get the help of a spotter to give you a liftoff to make the transition out of the rack a little bit easier. Now, once the weight is out and over top of you, we need to wait in the start position with the elbows locked for the chief referee to give us the start command. Just like the squat, if we're not able to get into an effective start position within the rules, we may be asked to replace the bar. Or again, if there's concerns of safety, you may also be asked to replace the bar. Remember, you'll have another opportunity to unrack and get into the proper start position as long as time allows.
The signal to begin the lift will be given by the chief referee's downwards hand motion and a start command, which will look something like this.
In order to perform the bench plus discipline within the rules, we need to achieve elbow depth. In order to hit elbow depth, we need the bottom surface of the elbow to drop below the top surface of the shoulder. If you are unable to meet the standard, you will still get the press command, but you'll get red lighted for bench depth. After receiving the start command from the chief referee, we can begin the bench press. We will lower the barbell down to our chest or abdomen area, wherever we prefer to touch. And once we display that the bar is motionless at our touch point, we will receive the press command. After receiving the press command, we need to, press the weight back up and return to our start position.
When held motionless and your elbows are locked, the chief referee will give you a rack command to complete the lift with a backwards hand motion, which will look something like this.
With bench, any failure to recognize the chief referee's commands and follow them is going to result in red lights. Along with this, any change in the elected starting position, which we'll define as your shoulders, butt, or head coming off the bench, along with any lateral movement of the hands or heels coming off the floor, is also going to result in red lights.
After we display a motionless position on the chest, we're going to receive a press command, right? But if after receiving the press command, we heave or sink the barbell further into the chest in order to gain some momentum on the press, this will be a no lift. This is a clear violation of the rules. If during the concentric portion of the bench press, as we're pressing the weight back up, if there's downward movement of the barbell and then it goes back up, this will be an up and down. And once again, just like squat, this is a violation of the rules. No lift. As we return back to the top of the bench press, we need to display a locked out elbow position to the referees. If you are unable to display that the elbows are completely locked out, you will receive a red.
If the spotters and loaders make contact with the bar or the lifters in between the chief referee's signals to make the lift easier, lifting the feet is not allowed. Some movement is allowed as long as your feet stay flat on the platform. And lastly, elbow depth. Failure to bring your elbow joint below the top of your respective shoulder joint.
It's important to note that you only have 60 seconds from your latest attempt to get your card in for your next attempt.
Welcome back after that very brief break between squat and bench press. I am Adam Maneri, one of your commentators today. I will be joined again by AJ in a minute. Bench is set to start in 1 second. Bar is loaded actually on platform 2, so we should be getting ready to roll, although there seems to be another issue with lifting cast and some of the numbers that have been loaded into the system. So it looks like we had an incorrect bar load, but it also looks like it's meant to be 120 kilos on the bar, and it looks like our spotters and loaders have loaded 125 kilos. So hopefully someone lets them know that the bar still looks to be improperly loaded. Maybe I should run over and tell them myself at this point. Oh, I think that they realized the mistake, so I can stay in my seat. Some pretty great lifting so far on the squat. Delano was able to pull out a 325 kilo squat after missing 305 and 320. That definitely takes some guts. And on a good day, he should be totaling over 900 kilos, which might be, I haven't taken a look at all of the super heavyweights lifting today, but that might be the highest total of the competition. Andrew Crumpton Nicholas is up on platform 2, our first bench of this session. Gets a good press command. Nice and easy opener for Andrew. Next up, we're going to have Curtis Duncan on platform 2. Curtis is on platform 2, getting ready for his bench press. Making that opener look like an opener should. Very easy for Curtis. Next up is Jordan, same weight on the bar, platform 2. Let's see if he can make 127.5 kilos move just like Curtis did. Jordan's having a great meet so far, 3 for 3 on squats. Getting his shoulders locked into position. We got Brett, Hall Strength Systems, coached by Max Hall on platform 2. 135 kilos loaded on the bar. We've got AJ hopping back on the mic for some commentary in session 4 of the 2025 APU Powerlifting Championships.
Yeah, and we've got some really good battles going on in all of the weight classes today, but especially the 105s and the 69 kilos.
Now we got 3 minutes until platform 1 makes this a dual platform stream again, but in the meantime, we're still locked in on platform 2 and this 105 open class.
Thomas coming in with 145 for his opener, does 10 kilos under his best bench, which he hit at last provs. Looks like he's been doing a couple bench-only meets as well. His last one was Nat's bench-only this past year. And he's making his 3-lift return 3 white lights on that opener.
I've done a few bench-only meets. Definitely doesn't feel like a real powerlifting meet, but they're fun, a little bit lower stress.
Yeah, it's nice when you can be in and out of there in basically 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a nice deviation if you've got some aches and pains on the squat and deadlift, though. At least like you still get a meet experience.
Couldn't agree more.
Nicholas with 155. His last meet was Power Surge 2023. Oh, sorry, I've got my people mixed up. He's competed twice, and this is his first provs. This is just 5 kilos under his best bench, and he made pretty light work of that.
Yeah, early in his competitive lifting career, probably has a lot of room to progress still. How many meets have you done, AJ? Do you know?
So I think it's 12 now. So I've done a handful of provs, both 3 lift and bench only. I've been to Nats a couple times, and I'm gonna be in prep for my next provs, Ontario provs coming up in October, and hoping to go to Nats after that.
Very nice.
Zach with 155.
He has one of the more unique singlets that you'll see. A lot of flames going on that one.
Yeah, those Titan ones are pretty colorful.
Yep. In the US APL, you might see some of the fully US flag Titan singlets.
Yeah.
Those are something.
Yeah, they've got those Canada ones too, and I'm Filipino, so I've been eyeing the Filipino singlet, and I've had it on my cart for the longest time. I just haven't been able to pull the trigger.
They're a lot. They're flashy.
They are. Oh, issues with the lights. Get right on that. Meanwhile, Vivian is back on platform 1 with an easy opener. Andrew, good lift on 2 with 125 for his second bench. Patricia with 45 kilos for her opener on platform 1. And Curtis with 132.5 on platform 2. Whoa. Looks like a heavy opener attempt selection there for Curtis. I stand corrected, that was the second bench, but still a heavy second attempt. $135 loaded on platform 2 for Jordan. So Jordan's got a pretty quick turnaround. He competed just 2.5 months ago at the Grit Power Spring Open, and this will be his first provincials. Pretty good second attempt. Almost looked like an opener for Jordan. You've got Zainab now on platform 1 with 47.5 kilos. So Zainab is opening with her current best bench. And pretty smooth. I think it's safe to say she'll be getting a bench PR today. Sam with 137.5 kilos on his second bench on platform 2. And that's a 300-pound bench, 3 white lights for Sam. Ayla's got 52.5 loaded for her opener on platform 1. And this is another PR match on opening benches. So Ayla did her first competition in Winnipeg of all places and is now here doing her first provs in Alberta. Strong opener, 3 white lights.
Fun fact, AJ, member of King's Fitness. I used to train out of King's Fitness, but she works now at the commercial gym that I go to about once a week, so I see AJ quite often when I do make it out.
And which gym is that?
That is a World Health gym. It is very much a
interesting.
commercial gym. Hope to make it back to King's Fitness at some point, but
yeah,
I would.
Else to train with those calibrated plates.
Yeah, I mean, my training is not too serious at the moment. Hopefully, when I get back into things, I'll get back to a powerlifting specific gym. But there is AJ entering the platform.
So now we've got Thomas with his second attempt at 155 kilos. This will be a PR match. And AJ with 62.5 kilos on platform 1. Looked good on 1, light on 2, and just wasn't there. So Cassidy in contention for the first place position in the 52 kilo class. And she will be opening with 70 kilos today.
Yeah, this is a really interesting matchup. Right now, they're only 2.5 kilos separated on their forecasted total. Madison is definitely wishing that she got that third record attempt, but she still does have a slight advantage over Cassidy.
And looks like she's got the, yeah, Madison's got the last pull as well, so that could come in handy. Zach with 160 on 2. Looked pretty good. Maybe a little tough for a second attempt, but he's going to get that 2-1. Cassidy gets that 70 kilo opener on 1. Now we've got Madison opening at 2.5 kilos over. Nicholas with 165 on platform 2. And this is going to be 5 kilos over his best bench.
Speaking of that battle in the 52, Madison has taken her first bench attempt here.
Nicholas, slight grind, but still smooth on platform 2. He's going to get it. 3 white lights. Oh, little tough on that opener for Madison.
Yeah, not what we want to see. Probably not the best time for this fun fact, but I used to work with Madison's mom.
Oh, wow. Small
Back when
world.
I was a teacher. She is actually the vice principal at my school. Was hoping that it would be a more positive environment to deliver that fun fact, but Madison will be back for her second.
Yeah. You have to wonder if she's being a little aggressive to make up for the squats.
Yeah, it looks like she is a very wide grip, big arch bencher, which is a very technical way to approach the bench press. So hopefully she can just clean something up, and that might end up flying on her second attempt.
That's a good point. And the weight was just a little too heavy for Andrew on platform 2. We're on third attempts now on platform 2. And this is the 105 kilo B class. Curtis with 132.5 kilos for his last bench. Three white lights for Curtis. Looked pretty strong on that third attempt. Zainab on platform 1 with 50 kilos. This will be a 2.5 kilo bench PR. Zainab has competed 3 times, and her first meet was Power Surge 14. And looks like that lift just wasn't good. Sam on platform 2 with 142.5, and Patricia on platform 1 with 50 kilos.
Both core powerlifting members, one of the largest, might be the largest club in Alberta now, actually.
Yeah, they're making quite the presence, especially down in Calgary. Oh.
Yeah, if you train at any Evolve in Calgary, you're bound to run into a lot of core powerlifters.
And Patricia, good lift on that second. And it is nice to see all the new clubs that are popping up here in Alberta, and a lot of teams vying for that club prize today.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day, the UAPA would just run away with the club championship.
Yeah,
not so much anymore.
Now there's a lot of new clubs, and yeah, another new one popping up. Neither of these lifters are on the team, but North Rise, coming out of Calgary as well, has some strong lifters in contention for that club competition prize. Jordan, probably a perfect third attempt. 3 white lights.
Well done.
And Vivian for her second. Making pretty good work of 52.5, maybe a slight misgroove, but all's well that ends well. He is alone in the 47 kilo class, so as long as she manages to hit her deadlift opener, she will be walking away the 47 kilo provincial champion. Brett with his third bench of 147.5.
So bringing it back to Madison's opening bench, she opened with 72.5. This is her second competition. In her first competition, she opened with 57.5 and finished with 65. So that does seem like a very ambitious opener.
Oh, just couldn't fight through the sticking point. Kayla with 55 kilos for her second bench. This will be a 2.5 kilo bench PR. And looks like a grind, but she gets it. 2-1. Good lift for Kayla and a nice new bench PR. Thomas with 155 for his third, and he's grinding. Is he gonna get it? Oh, it's so close. Saw some downward movement there.
Love the effort on that one, but just not quite there.
And AJ back with her second attempt of 65 kilos.
Let's go, AJ. I'll see you at the gym next week.
Zach with 162.5, looking pretty hyped up for his third bench. And a pretty easy second attempt for AJ. Zach, bit of a grinder, and he manages to lock it out. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights.
All right, Madison is going to need to hit this bench press. 72.5.
Again, Adam mentioned the wide bench width. Very technical bencher. Oh, and that looked much better.
It's so funny with that very wide bench.
And a grind on two. Oh, just couldn't lock it out.
Wow, with that wide bench and that very big arch, you see it oftentimes that you just make a small technical adjustment and then that looked like it was a warm-up.
Yeah. If you touch even a millimeter out of place, it can go from an RP7 to an RP11 real quick.
What's interesting about Madison's competition here, Cassidy, is that she has spent most of her time, it looks like, competing outside of the CPU. Competed in the CPL, the WRPF, Raw Canada, and this is just her second competition within the CPU.
And again, she holds all of the records in 47. And she is moving up to the 52 kilo weight class.
So she came in, did one meet in the CPU in the 47 class, broke all the records.
And she decided to move up to take some more records. She's already got the squat today, and that looks like that second bench was good. The bench record might be a little harder to take in the 52 kilo class. It's held by Tori LaPerriere with 91.5 kilos. And she is one of the best benchers in Canada, if not the world.
Yeah, she has competed internationally.
And Josh with his opener at 137.5, looking pretty easy. Zainab with 50 kilos for her third bench. This is going to be a reattempt.
Looks like we're moving on to first bench of the next flight on platform 2.
So we'll be seeing this 105 battle for the first place unfold here. And Zainab looking much stronger there. And she gets it with 3 white lights. Mo with 152.5. Good touch, solid push, and 3 white lights on platform 2. Racking up some points for Calgary Barbell. Trisha with 52.5 kilos for her third attempt bench. Just 2.5 kilos under her best. And Ronan with 157.5 kilos. Once again, Ronan was in contention for that first place position as well.
Yeah, he is definitely in the conversation. Let's see how this moves.
Pretty smooth.
Not a bad opener, but we'll see how Steven, Trenton, and Braden move their first bench.
Stephen Moore, another contender for the 105 kilo class, opening with 165. Oh!
Oh.
And he seems to get stuck halfway up. Bit heavy for an opener.
Wonder what happened there. He went 3 for 3 on squats, so you think he's feeling good.
And that matched, or would have matched, his best bench from Provs last year.
Seems like an aggressive opening attempt. Hopefully he can get it on the second or third.
Another miss on platform 1. Mr. Wendigo, Braden Witt, getting a lot of support here on platform 2. He's well known for having a pretty strong bench press. This is definitely his event. And getting onto thirds here in platform 1. Vivian with 57.5 kilos. Pretty smooth opener for Braden.
Well done.
And just wasn't there for Vivian. Definitely think 400s there for Braden today.
Yeah, he's going to be benching 4 plates if you're a commercial gym lifter. Roughly 182 and a half.
Brenton, another contender, and another big bench here on platform 2 with 175.
Yeah, he's matching Braden's opener. Has 10 kilos on his opening deadlift. So it is always huge having the biggest deadlift of a session.
And AJ coming back out with 67.5 kilos for her third attempt. A bit of a long pause there for Trenton, but unfazed, he gets it very easily.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight battle.
AJ getting her third attempt, 3 white lights on platform 1.
Looks like Braden is going up 10 kilos for his second bench. That's a big jump to see on bench press.
And going over that 400-pound mark with 185 kilos, it looks like.
Yeah, like we said, I thought that it might be on his third, but he's going for it on the second.
Giving himself 2 chances to get it. And speaking of chances, we've got Delano here on platform 2. Who took 3 chances to get a squat attempt and stay in the meet.
Yeah, we'll see if he does the same on the bench press.
Madison here on platform 1 with 75 kilos for her third bench. Oh! And it just wasn't there.
You know, how much did Madison She went, okay, yeah, she just went 2.5 kilos.
Yeah.
Funny
Small
how
jump.
that bench press can go either way.
And such a technical bencher too, so anything could really happen there. Delano, 3 white lights on the board for bench.
This will be big for Cassidy if she can get this lift, looking at that battle between her and Madison.
Oh, just tough
No
off the
lift.
chest.
That looks like they're going to go into deadlifts only 2.5 kilos separated on forecasted total.
What a tight battle. Aiden on platform 2, second bench, 140 kilos. Looking like an easy second attempt. Sam with 57.5 kilos on her bench opener. Moving into flight B here on platform 1. And Josh with 145 kilos for his second bench. Easy opener for Sam. And a good opener for Josh. 3 white lights on platform 2. Next up, we've got Haley on platform 1 with 57.5 kilos. This will be 2.5 kilos under her best bench. Strong off the chest. 3 white lights on 1. On platform 2, we got the bar loaded for Mo with 160 kilos. Kayla on 1 with 57.5 kilos for her bench opener. This will be 2.5 kilos under her best bench. And Mo is doing a PR match for his bench opener. Bit bouncy on the chest, but unfazed, he gets a very quick bench on his second attempt. Kayla does good with her opener and gets 3 white lights on that. Next up on 1, we've got Chelsea coming out with 60 kilos, which will be 2.5 kilos under her best. Ronan coming out with 165. And this will be 7.5 kilos from his opener.
Now he's taking a 7.5 kilo jump, but Trenton and Braden are taking 10 kilo jumps each. Meanwhile, Steven's gonna need to try to get that 165.
Pretty good second, a little tough. I wouldn't make too big of a jump after that, but sometimes it's important to build your total as much as you can, making those small jumps, and just hope that anybody above you makes those mistakes and you can sneak in. Beaten on 2 with 165. This will be a reattempt of his bench.
Oh!
Still a little heavy. Manages to get it that time. And referees agree, 3 white lights.
I mean, he needed that.
Yep, to stay in the fight. Erica with 60 kilos. Pretty smooth opener. 3 white lights there for her.
Could see Erica's coach, Max Hall, giving the nod of approval just out back.
Max Hall spreading the powerlifting community all the way down to Lethbridge.
I was born and raised in Lethbridge. Definitely didn't have a true powerlifting club or gym for that matter when I was living there, but we do now. Arctic Strength is the name of his gym down in Lethbridge.
And he hosts competitions down there from time to time too, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah, there were some other federations competing around Lethbridge when I was living there, but the CPU was staying away.
And Braden with his second attempt, 105, and he makes that look easy.
Wow.
407-pound bench for him on his second attempt.
Braden has quite a arch on his bench, something that we don't see as much of when we move up into the heavier male weight classes, but he definitely takes advantage of it.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot more mobility to get your arch up that high. And Jennifer with an easy opener of 70 kilos. Trent making that same 10-kilo bench, trying to stay tit for tat with Braden.
Taking his time on this one. He's got about 15 seconds to get a start command.
It's a lot of time. Oh, and he grinds through it. Looks like a red light in the middle, but it's 2-1, and he gets the lift. So that middle referee might have been looking for a plethora of things. Maybe his head came up a little bit, or with the new bench depth rule, he might have just not been quite hitting it.
Yeah, we haven't actually talked about elbow depth at all on this session. When it first was announced, I guess a couple of years ago now, we were getting calls all over the place, but it seems like it's kind of been forgotten a little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough rule to enforce or interpret back when it was first introduced.
Yeah,
I was definitely one of the lifters impacted. I had to move my grip in a little bit just
Oh,
to
wow.
get that depth.
Yeah, it was pretty controversial at the time.
But it makes sense. I think you want to make powerlifting more appealing to audiences, and seeing someone barely hoist the bench like an inch isn't the most impressive looking feat of strength, although it is. It's very technical. But
It's a tricky situation because I do feel sometimes a little bit embarrassed that when folks think that powerlifting is a very small subset of what we see, but you're right, it still is a very technical movement.
And speaking of technical, Delano just brute forcing that bench, making it look easy. And that's just 5 kilos under the 120 kilo bench record held by him. So we'll see if he tries to beat that today. Good lift on 1 for Katrina. Darby with 82.5 kilos for her bench opener. And the battle is between her and Danny today. Danny's also known to be quite a bit of a bencher herself. She's done a bunch of international meets in classic and equipped bench. So she's definitely well seasoned in the bench press. Aiden fighting for that third attempt.
Could see him shake his head. He knew that he wasn't going to get it.
And Darby with 82.5 here.
Bringing it back to Delano. Just looking at his recent competition deadlifts. Last 3 competitions, he's only gone 1 for 3 in each of them. Hoping to go at least 2 for 3 today.
Definitely a very aggressive lifter. 1 for 3 on the squats, going up each time.
All you need is 1.
And Josh not quite getting that third attempt bench. And Danny coming out with 85 kilos for her bench opener. Mo with 165 for his last attempt. This will be 5 kilos over his best bench. Danny making light work, 3 white lights on platform 1. Bit of a bouncy touch, grinds through it nice. And 3 white lights on platform 2 for Mo.
That's a good third attempt.
So on bench press, it's definitely important to get steady and soft touch so you can get a quick press command. Because those referees are waiting for that bar to be incredibly steady in order for them to give the press command. So you really want control on the descent so you can get the quick commands and an easier press. And that's a good second attempt by Samantha on platform 1. Oh! Who would have won? No lift. And Ronan fighting through that 167.5.
So, again, I know I keep going back to Delano, but I've just been spending some time on his open powerlifting page. He has never lost a meet.
Wow.
It is first place across the board in every single competition that he's competed at.
That's a very impressive
I know
resume.
that he's had some very close national competitions, but that's pretty incredible.
And Kaylee, she grinds through it, but with their up and down motion there, yeah, it looks like it. So the bar has to stay in a continuous upward motion. If it starts to move down even a little bit, that is cause for a bad lift. And we're seeing Chelsea here on platform 1 with 62.5 for her second, and Trenton going up just 2.5 for his third attempt.
Yeah, looks
And that
like,
last one was a bit of a grind, so I think this is a good call.
yeah, Braden is slowly putting a little bit of space, but we'll see if Trenton can get this third attempt.
Trent does have the bigger pull, so we'll see if that comes in for him. And Chelsea fighting, but not quite getting it on platform 1. Fight on platform 2, and not quite there. Hits the sticking point in the middle. Luckily, he only loses 2.5 kilos out on that one, but Braden coming out with a 5 kilo jump. We'll see what he does here. His second attempt was very smooth.
Yeah, right now, Braden has 12.5 kilos on the forecasted total. If he makes this lift, it'll move up to 17.5.
That'll be a much harder gap for Trenton and Ronan to get past. Kayla with 62.5 for her second. Looked like a long pause, and she grinds through it. Oh, but no lift. Braden taking his time on the setup. Such a nice touch and such a smooth bench. Definitely left kilos on the tank. He is hyped.
He runs off the platform.
Does get a red light in the middle. I know he's had some issues with bench depth, so might have been that.
Looked close on the replay. Oh, and Delano is going to attempt to break his own Canadian national record.
And not just chip it either. He's wanting to break it by 5 kilos.
Why not? Looks like Robert has scratched the rest of his attempts, so it's just Delano competing in the Open 120 now.
Might as well. Erica on platform 1 with 65 kilos. Taking her time, getting the wraps on. Delano bringing out the 2 spotters on each side. Heavy bench press.
It's rare that you get the 2 spotters on each side for a bench press, but here we are.
Bit of a bouncy touch again. Oh, can he fight through it? Oh, and it just wasn't there.
So close. Still a very, very strong human being.
There's the technical bench presses, and there's Delano, who just tries to muscle through everything. Looks like that was a good lift by Erica on platform 1.
Platform 2 is going to take a little break before moving on to deadlifts, but we've still got some more benches on platform 1.
So Jennifer going for 75 kilos on her second bench. This is going to be 2.5 kilos under her best. She took a bit of a break from competing. Her last progs, or last competition, I should say, was last progs. Basically a little over a year ago. And makes that light work. 3 white lights for Jennifer. Curious to see if she's going to go for a 5 kilo jump up to 80 to beat her bench PR. Janelle coming out with 77.5 kilos. This will be 2.5 kilos over her best bench. And Jennifer and Janelle are sitting pretty close. They're only 5 kilos apart. This bench would get Janelle over Jennifer. Oh, I just couldn't fight through the sticking point. She's got one more try at that. Next up, we've got Galila with her second attempt at 85. She seems to be a lock for that third place position right now. She's looking like she's 15 kilos ahead of Katrina in fourth place. Big arch. Very technical bench, makes it look pretty smooth. 3 white lights there. And that was a PR match for Galila. Next up we have Katrina, 85 kilos as well on her second bench. And we've got a bit of a three-way battle here between Katrina, Jennifer, and Janelle for fourth place. The three of them are just within 10 kilos. Smooth bench. 2 to 1. It's a good lift. And Darby attempting 87.5 kilos for her second bench. This is a 5 kilo jump. And currently, on forecasted totals, she's sitting just 2.5 kilos ahead of Danny from Calgary Barbell. Slow descent. Very soft touch. Oh, heavy off the chest. Looks like she jumped the press command a little bit there as well. Now, that'll be a very, very pivotal point in this battle between her and Danny. Danny's also making the same 5 kilo jump.
Yeah, and if Danny makes this attempt, that means that they are tied for forecasted total.
And not a bad second attempt. Still fairly smooth. 3 white lights for Danny. And that's going to keep this battle very tight. And just keeping an eye on this battle between Danny and Darby. Danny is opting to go 2.5 kilos, which I think is a good call there. And Darby is retaking her second attempt. It looked like it might have been a fail on strength. So it might be still tough for her to get that, but if she does, and both lifters make their third benches, Darby will be 2.5 kilos ahead. But if Darby misses, Danny will be 2.5 kilos ahead. Sam with 62.5 for her third makes easy work of it. And 2 to 1 gets the lift. Getting some points on the board for UAPA. Next up, we have Kaylee, 62.5 kilos for her third bench, and this will be a 2.5 kilo PR. Taking her time with the setup. Oh, and a very strong looking third attempt. She definitely had a couple kilos in the tank there. But she'll be walking away with 2.5 kilos off her best bench. Chelsea coming out, looking to match her best bench at 62.5. A lot of support here from the Wiley Strength crowd. Getting set up. Oh, little bouncy on the touch. That's going to give her a long press command. And it just wasn't there today. Looked like she went a little too fast on the descent, didn't quite control it. The referees do wait for the bar to be steady before they give that press command, so she had to hold the bar down there for a little bit longer than she would have liked. Looks like some technical issues on the loading. That's all right. It's going to be the same weight for Kayla. Kayla's best bench is 60 kilos, so this will be a 2.5 kilo PR. And it looks like it's gonna be there. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights, that's a 2.5 kilo PR for her. 2.5 kilos off her best bench at the Grit Power Spring Open, which was just 2.5 months ago. So that's a very quick turnaround. Erica coming out with 70 kilos on her third bench. Erica's already matched her best bench, and she wants to beat it by 5 kilos here on her third. And a bit of a grinder. Looks like she's hitting the sticking point and just couldn't push through. But she'll be walking away with a PR match, and you can't be mad about that.
Just an update on deadlifts on platform 2. Their first flight is set to start in just under a minute, so we'll be returning to that dual platform stream shortly.
And we've got Janelle coming up, looking to beat her best bench by 2.5 kilos here. looks pretty strong. She pushes through the sticking point and gets 3 white lights. That's a new bench PR. Jennifer coming out with 80 kilos for her third bench. There's only 5 kilos separating the forecasted totals between Janelle and Jennifer right now. Currently fighting for that 5th place position. And we've started deadlifts here on platform 2. That's Jordan with 222.5. Gets an easy 3 white lights. Oh. And just too heavy for Jennifer there. Now, it's very important in those cases to stay with the bar even if you failed, just to help out the spotters and loaders, because it's very tough for them to have to catch the weight and lift it up for you. It definitely makes a big difference when you're still under the bar, helping them and letting them guide the bar up for you. Cam with 230 for his opener, making it look pretty easy. I'm sure that'll be 3 white lights, and it is on platform 2. Darby with 87.5 kilos, so this is going to be a reattempt. This will be a key bench for her to get in the battle against Danny. Strong push off the bench. Thomas looking strong on platform 2. Darby grinding it out. And it just isn't there. Oh, she's like over the bar. Once again, it's very important when failing a lift that you still have to stick with the bar and help out the spotters and loaders. So that puts Darby now behind Danny. And if Danny gets her third bench, she'll be up by 2.5 kilos. Nicholas on platform 2 with 245 kilos for his deadlift opener.
Yeah, this battle between Danny and Darby is going to come down to the wire. Again, Darby on paper has the stronger deadlift, but we'll see if that actually comes to fruition.
Delilah with 90 kilos. Very big bencher. Oh, looked like a misgroove off the chest, and it was just a little too heavy today. Brett, 245 for his deadlift opener. Very smooth. Karina with 90 kilos on her third bench. So it'll be a 2.5 kilo PR if she gets it. And she's pretty far ahead right now for the 4th place position, ahead of Jennifer. Pulling away for sure. Oh, and it looks like that's a good bench. Very strong third attempt. And she gets it. That will be a PR for her, and she is happy about it.
Love to see that excitement on the platform.
Yeah, nothing like hitting a PR on the platform.
Again, Danny can really make her mark. It's only 2.5 kilos, but 2.5 kilos is everything in this sort of competition.
Yeah, that could be the 2.5 kilos that makes Darby have to pull a heavier deadlift than she can handle. And Zach, good lift on 2. Oh, it's a fight, and she doesn't quite get it. So we're still even here between Danny and Darby.
Yeah, going in 2 deadlifts with the same forecasted total. Darby on paper has the advantage being the bigger puller, but we'll see how it shapes up.
Neck and neck. And you've got to give it to Darby, just only a couple competitions in, and she's staying head-to-head with Danny, one of the most seasoned lifters we have here.
Yeah, over 400 kilo total in the 69 kilo class is nothing to sneeze at.
Andrew going to be getting 285 for his opener. A little tougher an opener, but we'll see where he goes from there. And we'll be taking a break on platform 1. All the benches are finished, and they'll be setting up for deadlifts shortly. Jordan with 235 for his second deadlift. Looks pretty steady, definitely has kilos left in the tank, and he gets 3 white lights. Sam going for 242.5 kilos on his second deadlift. That's a 12.5 kilo jump. Pretty standard for deadlifts at this weight. And I believe that is a 7.5 kilo PR if he gets it. And Sam, a sumo style puller. Setting up that hook grip. Looking very strong on that second attempt. 3 white lights, and he can definitely improve that PR further. Loading up 252.5 kilos now for Thomas. This is 2.5 kilos above Thomas's best deadlift, which he hit last proms. Conventional. Very steady. Did he let go too soon? Nope, 3 white light. Next up, Nicholas with 260 kilos. His best deadlift was 252.5 kilos at the Strength Edge Open back in October 2022. So he's been itching for a deadlift PR for a while, and this could just be it. Gets set up in his sumo stance. Giving some hip hinges there. Holds and looking pretty strong. Bit of a battle, but got it up nonetheless. And judges will give him 3 white lights for that effort. And that is a new deadlift PR for Nicholas. And here is Brett with 262.5 kilos on his second attempt deadlift. This is already 12.5 kilos ahead of his best deadlift. Oh, looks like it was grip there. He definitely had the strength for it, but just couldn't hold on. Might have a chance to redeem that if his grip can hold on his third attempt. I'm definitely no stranger to grip issues. I used to pull mixed grip, but after dropping too many deadlifts, I decided to switch to hook grip, and it's been quite the transition. And mixed grip is your typical over-under grip. Hook grip is a bit more of a technical grip where you actually squeeze your thumb between the bar and the rest of your fingers. It is as painful as it sounds, if not more. It is very uncomfortable, but it secures the bar. And Curtis grinding out. Oh, it just isn't there. Looks like he got stuck at the hips. That would have been a 5 kilo deadlift PR for him. Curtis is also having a very quick turnaround here. His last competition was the Gravity Games just 2 months ago. Definitely tough to pull together a strong prep and still make progress in that amount of time. Zach with 272.5 kilos, 600 pounds, looking steady, locks it out. Was it a little soft? Nope, 3 white lights. And Andrew making a 10 kilo jump here. His opener was a bit heavier than openers tend to be, so we'll see how this moves for him. His best deadlift is 300 kilos, so he might be trying to beat that today with these attempt selections. And he's getting it. Can he lock it? He does. Judges say 3 white lights. Sam loading up 250 for his last deadlift attempt today. Just waiting to see what Andrew does for his third attempt, if he decides to chip his PR or if he's making a safe attempt. Maybe a PR match. And on third deadlifts, it is a requirement to clean the bar between every attempt, just because a lot of chalk and baby powder gets mixed in the bar, and that can definitely impact whether or not someone makes a lift. Definitely don't want baby powder anywhere near where your hands are going to be, otherwise that bar can just slip right off. Sam making easy work of his third attempt. 3 white lights there for Sam. And that'll be a 15 kilo deadlift PR for him. So an update on Andrew. He will be going up another 10 kilos to 305 to beat his current best deadlift by 5 kilos. That second was a grind, so we'll see if he manages to pull that one. Jordan here with 250. Getting a big brace. His hip thrusts. Let's see. It's oh, dude. It looked so strong off the floor, but just wasn't there. I think he got pitched forward and couldn't straighten back up. Thomas with 260 on his third deadlift. This is a 7.5 kilo jump from his second and 10 kilos off of his previous best deadlift. A 10 kilo improvement, I should say.
An update on platform 1. Their deadlifts are set to start in just under 3 minutes.
Thomas with a strong pull. Looks like he's got it locked out. And he's going to get 3 white lights. 3 for 3 on deads today. Thomas will be finishing with a 2.5 kilo PR on his total as well. So Curtis attempting 265 for his third deadlift. This will be a 5 kilo PR. And this will be a reattempt of his second attempt. Steady, steady. Stuck at the hips again. Oh, good fight. He really tried. And you can't knock him for that. Brett with 270 for his last deadlift. So he didn't get a second, but he's going up another 7.5 kilos anyway. Less than a minute before deadlift start on platform 1. Brett getting set up. Pull, pull. Oh, just stuck under the knees and doesn't get it.
I don't know if you saw his second deadlift. That was a 7.5 kilo jump, but he missed his second. I don't know. He probably would have had 7.5 kilos left, you might think, but
I can't recall what happened, but I did see that that miss and the decision to jump anyway. Sometimes you're just set on a number, you want to hit that PR, and you'll do anything to load it. So Nicholas going for his third at 275. This will be a 15 kilo jump from his second, where he already improved on his deadlift PR. And this will get him over 600 pounds, which is a big milestone. Setting up that hook grip. Lot of hinges. Starts the pull. Oh, gets it off the floor, but doesn't get in the position to get it up.
yeah, that 600-pound mark is definitely a big thing in powerlifting. Sadly, my squat and deadlift historically have been about the same, so I've squatted 585 in competition, also pulled 585 in competition. Deadlift has always let me down.
Sounds like you've got to get your bench up to 585, get the 1-to-1-to-1.
Yeah, I mean, I've hit 405 in competition on bench, so that's kind of, I think, a lifetime
an
achievement.
Impressive bench. Kayla with 117.5 on one. Makes it look easy. 3 whites. Zach with 277.5. He looks fired up. And, a little slow off the floor. He can't quite push off the knees. Loading the bar at 125 for Zainab on one. And loading the bar at 305 for Andrew on his third. So again, Andrew's second looked a bit grindy, and he's going up another 10 kilos to beat his current deadlift PR. We'll see if he can grind this one out as well. Zainab setting up. Easy opener. And that'll be 3 white lights for Zainab. Andrew, grinding through it, grinding through it. Can he lock the shoulders back? Fighting through. And just can't lock it out. That was pretty much as close as you could get to pulling that weight.
Yeah, great attempt by Andrew there. Just going to take a very quick second to thank a sponsor, the Strength Guys. They coach world champions and lifters just like you. For online coaching, nutrition, and injury management, trusted by the best, visit thestrengthguys.com. Break PRs with us, and break PRs like Cassidy is doing on the platform as well.
That was an easy 140 for Cassidy. Patricia coming out for 140 as well. Patty getting a lot of support from her core powerlifting fam. Aiden with his opener on 220. We've now moved on to flight B. Ooh, very smooth opener by Patty. 3 white lights on that attempt. And 3 white lights for Aiden as well. AJ coming out with 142.5 for her opener. And bar loaded at 267.5 kilos for Mo on his first deadlift attempt. Looks like Mo is also pacing for deadlift PR here. And an easy opener. 3 white lights, he gets that attempt. AJ setting up that mixed grip. And a smooth opener on platform 1. And Braden opening at 270 kilos for his first deadlift.
I hope that he is well fueled. If you follow one of our sponsors, Taylor Nutrition, that could be you. Unlock your peak performance with a personalized sports nutrition session designed for powerlifters. We'll assess their goals, training, diet, and recovery to create a targeted fueling plan, complete with supplement guidance, custom meal planning, and athlete-friendly recipes. Let's see if Madison is fueled up on platform 1.
Madison with 142.5. Oh, looks like a misgroup, but she still pulls through. and gets 3 white lights for that effort.
So
Here comes
Madison, sorry, I was just going to say Madison, it's only her second meet. She has a ton of potential, needs to iron out a few technical kinks, but she could be a very, very competitive lifter.
Yeah, very technical on the bench, very technical on the deadlift as well. Braden with a nice pink Alico singlet. Make easy work of that opener. 3 white lights and a lot of support from the crowd here. Definitely a fan favorite, being a hometown hero here in Edmonton. Vivian with her second deadlift, 102.5 kilos, 225 pounds. And makes easy work of it. Vivian is coached by Bullseye Strength here in Edmonton, and she gets 3 white lights for that lift. Even more, 3 white lights on platform 2, and out comes Ronan with 280 kilos on platform 2. Just cleaning up the bar.
Again, this matchup, Braden seems to be pulling himself ahead, but again, don't want to speak too soon. But Trenton and Ronan are really neck and neck right now, even loading the same number on the deadlift for their first attempt, 725 and 727.5 for their forecasted totals.
Now it'll be interesting to see what kind of jumps they make. Trenton looks like he's got a best deadlift of 300 kilos, and Braden is opting to only jump 10 kilos between attempts. Kayla, a bit of a bounce on that deadlift. Looks like she got pulled out of position a little bit. Looks like Ronan got his lift.
And Ronan's 7 for 7 so far. So again, this is what matters in a powerlifting competition. If you can string good attempts together, you'll end up on the podium.
Josh with 280 for his opener. Makes it look pretty smooth. 3 white lights. Zainab on platform 1 with 135 on her second deadlift.
Pressure is on for Trenton.
Bit of a fight, but that's a 2-to-1 good lift for Zainab on platform 1. That'll be a 2.5 kilo PR on her deadlift. Trenton coming out with 280 for his opener. Oh, and very smooth.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a competition in the 105 class and a competition continuing in the 52 kilogram women's class.
Madison coming out with 147.5 kilos on her second deadlift. There's a bit of a wobble on her opener, but moved easy nonetheless. Tough off the floor, locks it out easily though. And that looks like it'll be a good lift, 3 white lights.
Yeah, that moved better than her opener, so maybe she's figured something out with the technique.
And that's one of the challenges of a sumo pull. It tends to be heavy off the floor, but once you get it off, that lockout is pretty quick if you can position it properly.
Yeah, you got to be confident, keep pulling, and it'll come.
Milano with 325 on platform 2. AJ on platform 1 with 150 kilos on her second deadlift. Oh, and an aggressive setup. Makes it easy, slams that bar on the ground with confidence.
So,
Three
like we
white lights.
discussed, Delano has gone 1 for 3 in his last 3 meets on the deadlift. That moved very well, but he's been aggressive with his attempt selection, so we'll see what he goes for number 2.
Good lift on 1, 3 white lights for AJ.
Yeah, AJ looks to be running away with the 57 kilo open class.
Aiden on 2 with 240 kilos. Makes light work of that second attempt. Patty on platform 1 with 150 kilos. Setting up. Getting wedged. And makes it smooth. 3 white lights for Patty. And Patty's got herself in a pretty comfortable position in second place in the 57 kilo class. Steven with 277.5. Looked like a bit of a stiff leg deadlift, but moved smooth nonetheless, and he gets 3 white lights for that.
Yeah, Steven says, don't forget about me quite yet. Could still sneak onto the podium if Trenton and Ronan push themselves a little bit too far.
Cassidy making easy work.
So it looks like Cassidy probably has done enough to separate herself from Madison. Madison would have to make a pretty significant jump on the third. Not sure if she has it in her, but you know, crazier things have happened.
Mo on platform 2 with 285 on his second. Yeah, and back to that battle between Cassidy and Madison. You could definitely see Cassidy being more of the deadlift specialist, making those big jumps between her attempts. And that is what is essentially setting them apart and pulling her way ahead.
Yeah, Madison actually had a slightly higher opening attempt, but like you said, Cassidy has been able to make those larger jumps.
Vivian with a strong third deadlift on platform 1. That'll be 3 white lights. And that was also a 2.5 kilo PR for Vivian. Braden with his second deadlift, 290. He'll want this if he wants to stay ahead of the competition. Sets up in that wide sumo stance. And makes that look easy. Braden pulled that as if to tell the competitors, if you want to catch me, you better fight for it.
Yeah, it's just ever so slightly too early to say that he is the definitive champion of the 105 class, but it's looking like it's going to end up that way.
Kayla with 125 for her third deadlift. Pulls it, it looks steady. And she will get the lift, 3 white lights.
So I'm interested to see how this goes for Ronan. Again, he's battling with Trenton for second place, but Steven is right there ready to move on to the podium if they push themselves too far.
He makes that pretty smooth. If Trenton gets this deadlift, he'll stay 2.5 kilos ahead of Ronan.
Yeah, that moved pretty well for Ronan. We'll see if Trenton can match that speed.
Zainab with 140 for her last deadlift. Oh, just couldn't get it today. That's all right. Here comes Trenton, 295. Trying to hold that second place position. And a bit of a tough lockout, but he does get it. Will the judges give it to him? They do, and it's 3 white lights. And the bar is being loaded at 152.5 kilos here for Madison. It looks like she won't be trying to make the big jump for first place, but she might as well solidify herself a strong total. And Josh with 305 keeps grinding it out. He locks it out. What do judges say? They give him 3 white lights, 305 kilos. What a grind for Josh.
And Madison doing the same on platform 1.
And that'll be strong. That gives her 362.5.
Yeah.
Not quite enough for first place, but that is enough for slightly over 10 kilo deadlift PR. Or yeah, total
Hey,
PR.
Second powerlifting meet. I mean, that is a very good total. Cassidy is a heck of a lifter, so Madison has a great future ahead of her. I believe that she is not very far into the open class. How much did Delano jump up here? He's going
Like
for
15
340,
kilos.
so 15 kilo jump from his first.
AJ with 155 for her third deadlift. And I was checking the deadlift records for the 120 class, and this is Bryce Krawchuk's class, so that one's a little out of reach for Delano at 387.5 kilos.
Interestingly, though, I think Delano's beaten Bryce twice at Nationals. Kind of the underdog story.
Yeah, hasn't lost a meet. And AJ grinding it out. Will she lock it? She does. 3 white lights. Delano with 340 slams it with authority.
And that
3
is a
white
good
lights
lift
him.
for Delano. That gave him a 900 kilogram total.
And Delano does hold the total record at 120 with 910 kilos. So we'll see if he loads to beat that. I am willing to bet he will.
If I was a betting man, although he hasn't chipped his previous record, but he would likely be going to load maybe 351.
And we've got Patty with her final deadlift attempt here on platform 1 with 157.5 kilos. Gets into position. Oh, and Chuck couldn't get it off the floor. Aiden with a strong third deadlift on platform 1, 3 white lights. And Cassidy the 52 kilo open provincial champion, loading 165 kilos on the bar.
Yeah, she is posting a very impressive total in the 52 class. I don't know what the national record is for the 52 open class. She's poised to hit 385 here if she makes this deadlift.
And Cassidy comes out for her final deadlift. Steven fighting with 285. Does he get it? The judges give it to him 2-1, and that's a good lift by Steven. Cassidy making light work of that last deadlift. She will walk away, the 52 kilo champion, walk away with a squat PR. And we'll probably soon, one day, walk away with a bunch of other records as well.
We're going to move on to the next flight of deadlifts on platform 1.
Mo with his last deadlift attempt. 292.5 kilos on the bar. And he's pulling for it, locks it out. Two to one, good lift for Mo. And a good lift for Mo.
And yeah, just bringing it back to at least the provincial record for the 52 kilo class. The national record is a little bit of work still for Cassidy, but she finished with a 385 kilo total. The current total record is 400, so she is very close.
That's not bad for a 52 kilo debut coming up from 47.
Not terrible at all.
Sam with 140. Easy opener for Sam. Braden with the big 300 kilo deadlift. Bars loaded on 1 for Chelsea, 140 for her opener. Good lift. And Chelsea gets the 3 white lights for her opener. Oh, and Braden fights for it, but can't break it off the floor. But he will get a round of applause for that effort. He will be finishing with 760 kilos. That might open the door for Trenton to go for a big pull and try to pull him out of position.
He would need to go up to 312 and a half. I mean, he did take a 15 kilo jump after his opener, but he also doesn't want to leave the door open for Ronan to sneak in to second place, so it'll be interesting.
Now, would you defend second place, or do you go all in for first place?
I think just having watched Trenton lift today, he's missed both of his third attempts on squat and bench. I would personally play it safe and go for second, but I mean, you never know.
Kaylee with a good opener on platform 1. And I guess we'll see what Ronan does here. 302.5 kilos. Looks good.
So that does make it a little bit interesting. Trenton is a slightly lighter lifter. So he could go down, in theory, to 300 to secure that second place. That is probably what I would do in this situation. 305 is an unnecessary attempt. You would either go 300 to secure second, or you would have to bump it up all the way to 312 and a half. So I would drop that attempt if I was his handler to 300.
And looks like they have 305 on the board, or on the bar, so.
All right, let's hope that they don't regret this decision. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes to do the math live, but it is looking like he only needs 300 here, not 305.
Taking his time, drops in, pulls it, and he gets it. And the judges give it to him, 3 white lights. Maybe
what do I know? Don't listen to me. Go 305. It doesn't matter. Moves into second place by 5 kilos, just a little bit more than he needs, but why not if you think you can get the lift? Also, just looking at Delano, again, not deciding to chip. He's going all the way to 355. He could go 351.
Delilah with her opener on platform 1. Bit of a wobble on the lockout, but she gets the lift. And wow, this is a big jump by Josh. He grinded for that last one, but he wants the 700 here.
Yeah, I think this is a personal decision. He's doing it for himself. He's doing it to secure that 700 kilo total.
He gave it a good shot. Can't regret that he loaded it, and he'll be walking away with a pretty strong deadlift.
Yeah, that will move him down to 7th position, but I think the chance at getting that 700 kilo total was more important than just moving up 1 place in the rankings.
Katrina with 155 on her opener in platform 1. And Delano again coming out for 355 to beat his own total record.
And will probably be the heaviest deadlift we'll see at provincials this year. I'm trying to think if there's any of the big boys lifting in the final session today that might challenge it. And again, if I was a handler, I would probably just chip this attempt. But again, I've been saying that all day. No one seems to agree.
And it seems Delano doesn't like to chip his records. He wants to destroy them. Danny with her opener of 160. This battle has come down to the wire, so these last deadlifts will be very pivotal for Danny and Darby. And she makes light work of that. Delano.
This is close to 800 pounds. No big deal.
What was that Nick Manders said? I don't need a tactical advantage. I pull 800 pounds. And oh, just missing on the lockout. Looks like it slipped.
Please don't hate me, Delano, but I have a feeling that 351 might have been the number.
But if he doesn't hit it today, he can definitely hit it again.
And who am I to talk? It's 80 kilos more than I can deadlift.
Almost 100 more than I can, so. Jenny with 160 kilos for her opener. Very strong opener. 3 white lights.
So that does bring us to the end of the platform 2 lifts of this session, but platform 1 is trailing a little bit behind, so we're gonna have the final flight of deadlifts be rolling through here, first attempts.
So Darby coming out with 175. Looks like, yep, that was her opener.
Yeah, we'll need to see how this moves. If it moves well, then she can still definitely threaten Danny, but Danny did have a strong opener.
And Danny's opting for a 7.5 kilo jump on her second.
Yeah, thought she might have gone up 10.
Darby making that look pretty easy.
Yeah, it looks just based on that opener that she might have the style of deadlift that kind of flies until it doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised if she hits a pretty major sticking point around the knee, but we'll see what she goes with on her second. It's going to be very, very close. Probably going to come down to third deadlifts between Danny and Darby.
And one thing to point out is Darby also pulls conventional, and I find with conventional, that definitely puts you in a much better position to grind out those tough deadlifts. So we'll see if that comes into play for Darby.
Yeah, sumo a little bit more technical. Conventional, sometimes if you just need it, you can black out a little bit and keep pulling.
Kayla with 137.5 for her second attempt. Oh, looks like it came off the floor a little too fast and she got out of position there.
There is a little bit of competition still for the third podium spot for our women's 69 kg open. Glia and Katrina, even Janelle and Jennifer could have an outside shot depending on how those deadlifts go. So the podium isn't completely determined yet.
It only takes 1 or 2 misses to completely open that door and let the other competitors get that position.
Especially just looking at what these lifters have jumped from deadlift 1 to deadlift 2. Jennifer and Janelle in 6th and 5th have jumped 10 and 12.5 kilos, whereas our third place lifter only jumped 7.5. So those lifters might be coming for her.
Chelsea 2-1 on platform 1. Looks like those shoulders might just need to come back a little bit more. Yep, the referees are signaling shoulders as the reason for that missed lift. Sam, the UAPA lifter with 150 kilos on the bar for her second attempt. Grinds it up. It's smooth all the way up. And she will get that lift. 3 white lights. Kaylee coming up next, and there is a bit of a battle for 7th place between Kayla, Samantha, and Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, if she can improve that finishing position, could have a shot to move into 8th or 7th. Kaylee wants to hold on to that 7th position.
Kaylee with 155 on the bar. And a little tough off the floor, but just like a textbook sumo, it locks out pretty nice and easy, and she's going to get 3 white lights for that. That'll be a match on her deadlift PR with another attempt to beat her deadlift PR.
So this is going to be a very important attempt for Galila. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Jumping 7.5 from her first attempt. Wants to hold on to that podium position.
Yeah, only 10 kilos separating third and fourth. And she did have a bit of a shake on lockout, so we'll see if that comes into play here. Oh, and bit of a tough lockout, but she does get it. 3 white lights for Galila. That's going to make it a little tougher for anyone to break the podium. And I think that might be a little too much for Katrina to try and get that position. But it all depends on what happens on the third attempt. $160 kilos loaded on the bar for Erica. Again, a Hall Strength Systems athlete.
Sorry about that, folks. Just temporarily lost one of our cameras, but we are back and we are rolling.
So this will be a PR match for Erica if she gets it. Oh, and that looks fairly smooth, a little shaky on the lockout. Oh, and there will be 2 red lights, likely for downward motion on that lift.
Yeah, they're blue cards from the judges. That's normally downward motion.
Oh, looks like the signal was for hitching.
It did look like, to me it looked like she just kind of got her hand caught on her thigh, but the judges saw it a little bit differently.
Katrina with 162.5. And she's trying to secure that 4th place position. Potentially put herself in position for 3rd. She gets the lift. Might be a bit of a push for podium still. She can try to jump the 10 kilos and hope that.
Yeah, what's the body weight? She is the lighter lifter, so she could go 172.5 and hope that Galila misses her 3rd.
And does she pull after?
She would.
Yeah.
Oh right, yes.
So
she would have to.
Say.
She would
She'll
be able
have
to
the
see.
attempt change there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Janelle with 162.5. Looks pretty smooth again for her second. Very textbook. 3 white lights there for Janelle.
Yeah, so
and
it looks like
2.5 kilo PR for Janelle.
Katrina is putting in a placeholder for her 3rd, just 2.5 kilos higher than Galila has put in. That way she can see whether she makes or misses, and then she can always change the weight if she needs to.
I believe Matt Gary calls it jockeying for position.
Yes.
That's what's going on right now. And that's what makes the 3rd deadlifts really interesting, and anything can really happen because basically lifters get 2 chances to change their final deadlift attempt. So you can really decide what to do based on how other lifters execute their lifts.
Yeah, it might just look like there's a bunch of folks pulling some iron off the floor, but there's a lot of strategy that goes into these decisions.
That's what makes it a true sport rather than just a gym session on the platform.
Ooh.
Danny making light work of 167.5.
So Darby and Danny. Darby is the lighter lifter. Again, Danny was cutting down, and looks like she made it by 0.15 kilos without tracking her macros. Well done, Danny.
Impressive.
That's intuitive eating to the T. But it looks like Darby is just picking her selections to match exactly what she needs to stay in first place. So if she makes this lift, they'll be tied on total, but she's a lighter lifter, so she will remain in first.
And again, she has the last pull, so she can really base her decisions off of what Danny does.
Yep, she's just going to load whatever she needs to come home in first place.
All right, the bar is getting cleaned up for Jennifer. 170 kilos on her second attempt. And it is mandatory to clean the bar for third deadlift attempts, but if a lifter so wishes, they can request the deadlift bar to be cleaned at any time. Jen with a lot of support from the crowd. And that looks like a pretty strong lift. 3 white lights, and that's a PR match for Jennifer.
Very snappy lift. She could try to push herself a little bit. She'll see how Katrina and Janelle do ahead of her. She'll be able to load whatever she needs to do on the bar to move up the rankings. Probably not quite enough to land on the podium.
It's like a bit of head-to-head still here between Jennifer and Janelle as well.
And between Darby and Danny, of course.
Darby coming out for her second attempt. Again, just matching the jumps that Danny's making. Since she has the body weight advantage, why pull more than you need to?
That's what I've been saying this whole time, but not many people have been following my advice, but Darby is.
And Darby has...
Oh.
Oh. Okay. A little slower than her opener, but again, that is a conventional deadlift. And
I am excited for that third attempt. I'm confident that Danny is going to be able to hit her third, and that is going to push Darby to a point that it's going to be a grind, and it is going to be right on the line, I think.
So Danny has to decide how much weight is going to be too much for Darby to pull on her third attempt.
Yeah, when you're in this position, there's two things that you're thinking of. One, yes, you are thinking, what is the most that I can pull? But you, and more so your handler or your coach in this situation, needs to be looking at someone like Darby's lift and thinking, if I was Darby, how much more would I have in the tank? And you're trying to push her just beyond that limit.
And Kayla starting off the third deadlift attempt here. 137.5. This will be a PR match.
Missed it on her second, but let's see if she can get it on her third.
Oh, another.
There,
fighting for the lockout.
There's definitely a hitch there. I hate to say it.
Up and down motion.
Yeah, hitching and downward motion. A little twofer there.
But it was a good grind on the
Yeah. Oh, that's a gym PR.
Yeah.
Just not quite in competition.
And Chelsea here attempting to chip her deadlift PR by 2.5 kilos. She is going up despite not getting her second deadlift attempt. But really, there's no reason to really try and secure the safer total here. She's not in contention or is under threat by anybody.
Just wants to have the best total she can on the day.
And she grinds it. It looks smooth. That looks very locked out. And 3 white lights. She's going to get that 2.5 kilo
Great
PR on her
lift.
deadlift. What a strong way to finish the meet for Chelsea. And Sam going for the deadlift PR match here with 155 kilos loaded on the bar.
And this lift won't do anything for position for Sam. But again, just trying to get the best total that she can. She thinks she's got 5 more kilos in the tank.
Looks like it's not breaking the floor. Good effort by Sam.
Got Kaylee up next. Again, she's locked into her positioning here, but hoping to add 5 kilos to her total.
And this will be a 5 kilo increase to her deadlift PR. And breaks the floor. Will she lock it? She does.
No.
And she gets 3 white lights from the referees. That'll be a nice 5 kilo PR for her.
Looks like she's being handled by Danny Lee. I heard him just give her 1 word of advice before lifting, patience. And she was patient and she got the lift.
That is a very important tip, especially when you're pulling sumo. You definitely don't want to try to get out of position, trying to break the bar off the floor. You want to hold that position, let the bar come up, and then show off your strength in that lockout.
Yeah, I've seen some sumo lifters, I kid you not, pull on the bar for 10 seconds without it leaving the floor, only to fly up.
Yeah. Erica coming out with 162.5 on her third deadlift. And we might have gotten the hitching again there. Oh, no, judges will give it to her. 3 white light.
Nice pull by Erica. She got the good lift.
And that was a 2.5 kilo deadlift PR for Erica.
All right, so back to the really tight action here at the top of the 69 kilo class. Galila is attempting to add 5 kilos to her total, but Katrina is waiting for her, and maybe even Janelle. If there's a miss here, they could sneak in to 3rd place on the podium. Tension is high in the building. She's got a lot of baby powder going on the thighs, so the bar should just be gliding up.
And she drops in. It's fast off the floor and fighting for that lockout. She gets it.
Was there any downward? It'll be close. Good
3
lift.
white lights, 405. That's going to make it tough for Katrina, but
Yeah,
I suspect she'll go for an attempt change here.
yeah, I mean, might as well if you can get a spot on the podium, but she'll need to jump up to 177 and a half, which I think is a little bit
Might be a big
out
ask.
of reach.
Yeah, it
So
looks
she
like
might
she's,
just try to hold on to fourth here.
yeah, she's staying with the 167. She does have Janelle on her tail, so
But that being said, Janelle could add a little bit more to her third attempt to move up to fourth. We'll see.
a lot of cheers from the crowds for this pull.
Yeah, some intensity from the crowd.
Oh, breaks the floor, grinding it up. That's a strong lockout. 3 white lights for Katrina.
She is very fired up. Again, she's sitting in fourth place right now. Janelle and Jennifer, in theory, have the potential to pass her, but it doesn't look like they're going to bump up their attempts to try to do so. Janelle is just trying to stay ahead of Jennifer.
Still loading up 172.5, which is a 12.5 kilo improvement on her deadlift PR.
And looking forward to the top of the class, Danny is loaded 175, and Darby, as we expected, is loaded 190, which would tie her, assuming that Danny makes her lift, but Darby would win on body weight.
Oh, and just not there for Janelle.
So that means that Jennifer will move ahead, assuming that she makes her third deadlift. She might lower this attempt. She could lower it all the way down. She's a lighter lifter, sorry, doing quick math on the fly. Could lower it down to 172 and a half if she wanted. But once the bar is loaded for Danny at 175, she won't be able to go that low. So it looks like she'll stick with her 180.
And Danny with the
She
175.
needs this lift.
Her first
Can
two
she
have
do
looked
it?
easy.
7.5 kilo jump. She should have it.
And that looked good. Judges agree.
Danny, a seasoned vet of the sport, is thinking, Darby, I don't think that you have 7.5 more kilos in the tank. Let's see. As we mentioned, Jennifer 180. She could have dropped this attempt. I mean, until this bar is loaded, she would have the opportunity to do so, but looks like she's confident that she can hit 180. And maybe she isn't too concerned about positioning if it's not for a podium spot.
And it'll be a nice 10 kilo PR off her previous meet best. He looks fired up. A lot of cheers from the crowd as well.
Crowd is supporting her.
Setting up that hook grip. Pulling the slack, getting it to position, breaking the floor, locking it out.
Wow.
And she is stunned, but she has gotten that lift.
What a great lift from Jennifer. And now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. If Darby makes this third deadlift, she is the women's open 69 kilo class champion. If she misses this, Danny will be the champion.
And this battle has gone down to the very last lift.
Yeah, we were calling it from the onset. Sometimes it doesn't always end up that way, but they have been neck and neck this entire competition. Darby with 3 missed lifts so far. Danny just with 1.
And those conservative jumps can really make the difference.
Oh, 100%. We'll see if Danny's pushed her just outside of her capacity.
Darby coming out. The whole crowd is rallied up.
Again, conventional puller, she might have a crazy grind in her. We'll see.
Taking time, setting up. Getting her to pull this in. Pulling. Oh, and it throws her off position. What a battle. It
Wow.
looks like Danny knew exactly what she was doing.
Again, she's a seasoned vet of the sport. She pushed Darby just beyond what she could do, and Danny is your 69 Open champion for the 2025 APU Provincial Championships. That does bring us to the end of session 4, I believe. I'm already losing track.
Yeah,
My
session
name
4.
is Adam Maneri, and I've been joined on this session by
AJ Vandiola.
and we are going to pass you off quickly to one of our referees before moving on to our final session of the day, and we hope to see you there as well.
Thank you so much for joining us today on day 2 of the APU Provincials 2025. My name's Lainey Bishop. I hope you join us tomorrow morning for our bench-only session.